everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Everyday Old Man Adventures. I'm Jeff and this is my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a canoe that I purchased last summer off of Facebook Marketplace. Spent about $300 for the canoe. It included 2 paddles, 2 life jackets, and this Old Town flat back extra wide canoe. Yeah, so anyway, I bought this canoe, and if you've ever been to the South and never heard of a P-row, it's kind of that same shape, right? And that's kind of what I want to turn this into. Not necessarily a canoe, but kind of a small boat that that I can use for a bunch of the different waterways that we have around here locally, and that I can pretty much do all on my own. So it's going to be kind of a long, drawn-out process with this canoe. There's a lot of things that I want to try and do with it, and show you guys, and like maybe give you some ideas. Maybe you can give me some ideas of how we can improve it. Anyway, so this video is just an introduction into that, right? So talking a little bit about the boat, talk about what my plans for it are, and how we're going to get there, over time, I hope. So anyway, so this is the introduction. I've kind of already started, so this is some of the stuff's already there, some of it's not in this series. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. So first of all, the canoe. So the most important thing for me is that by the way, when I look down, I'm looking at my cheat sheets like I'm old school. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure it's portable. And when I say portable, I don't want to have to use a trailer. I want to be able to put this on the roof rack of my my Lexus LX 450, so that I can be able to drive it down the sand, or I can get into tight places for small ponds or rivers, that kind of thing. So I want to make sure it stays portable. I don't want to mount a whole bunch of stuff on the outside of it where I can't get it up on the roof rack, or that kind of thing, or add so much weight that it's just unrealistic. So I want to keep it portable. So along with, I said the roof rack, I want to make it easy for myself as I get older. I think part of the thing with putting this like on the roof rack is I'm going to try to incorporate using the winch on the front of the Lexus, so that basically if this is the back of the truck, the canoe, the butt of it would come up like this. We could use the winch and pull it up on top of the roof rack like so, and do it that way, so that I'm using mechanical advantage, that as I get older I don't have to try to lift this thing up or down. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but it's something that I want to try. I'm going to try to figure it out. And then the last thing is that I want to make sure that all of this is fairly fast, right? Like the reason I switched to this canoe, I had what they called a Portabot, which is a folding boat. It's a great boat, but the problem is it takes about an hour to set up and an hour to take down. I'm trying to get this where it's quick, right? So like the boat's already together, you can pull it off the rack, slide it up into the river, throw on your life jacket, and get out with your fishing pole and get after it, and drop a crab pot, or do whatever you want to do. Not take a whole bunch of time to set it up to try to use it, because then it's just not user friendly at that point. At that point, I'd almost contemplate like buying a Zodiac, right? Like a 3 meter or 4 meter Zodiac, throwing it down on the ground and inflating the whole thing and putting the motor on, because I'd probably get a more stable boat for bigger water, more carrying capacity, but the air up and air down time is what takes forever on it. So hopefully this boat, it goes faster. So that's one of the goals that I want to try to meet. So let's talk about the boat itself. So the boat itself, you'll see in the sizes up here in the video in a minute, but I want to make sure that the boat itself is you can portage it, that it's portable, meaning that if I need to park, let's say, I can think of a place now. It's called Taft. It's south of the city of Lincoln City. It's a real popular spot. It comes into Siletz Bay. People park. The city has provided all this parking. But it's about 400 yards, 500 yards from the parking area to get to the edge of the water on the bay. So a lot of guys that are like salmon fishing or throwing crab snares or whatever are all using like beach carts to get their stuff down there. So I want to make sure that if I ever decided that I wanted to go do something like that, or I had to park, I couldn't park right next to the water, that I have some way to be able to like pick up the boat and be able to move it to wherever I want to. I think that the boat probably weighs about 120 pounds. Should probably try to look that up, come up with a real weight. But, you know, it would be nice to have a set of wheels on it where you could just pick up the bow, have your stuff in the boat, and just walk it down wherever. The other thing is it's like, because it is plastic, I've noticed around my house that like, I'm chewing off the plastic, like dragging it on asphalt, concrete, that kind of thing. I don't want to put any holes in it. I don't want to make it, you know, I don't want to do a video on doing plastic repair. So anyway, having wheels on it will make sure that it rolls around smoother, and it's way more portable. So that's one of our. I'm not itching my nose. I'm itching my mustache right here. I'm talking too much. Anyway, that's one of the things we want to make sure that we do with it. So not only the wheels, but then some kind of drag system, right? Like, can I just pick it up with a handle on the front and do it? And if I do that, like how long would kind of my hand last? 500 yards? Like, should we mount wheels more? Like right now I'm leaning more towards the stern, but should we have a wheel system that's more towards the middle of the boat? So that like when you pick up the bow, you're basically only holding like 5 pounds to drag it. So it's more balanced. I don't know. Like, I'm more than willing to play with some aluminum and figure it out. So we'll see. Power. I want to make sure that this boat has some kind of, what's the right word? Motor, engine. I do have I currently have a 4-horse Suzuki outboard. It's one of the all-in-one models. It has the fuel tank on top and everything else, so that you can holds a gallon of fuel. Pretty much you can run the thing all day long and it only runs about a gallon. The only problem with that thing is it weighs about 40 pounds. I have tried it this last summer with that motor on it. By the time that you put my rather large rump in the back of the boat with that motor, if you don't have any ballast in the bow, you only have about 2, maybe 3 inches of freeboard. So if you had an inclement weather day where there was some chop or something on the water, I don't think it would be very safe. So I'm looking at an electric motor right now. I'm not looking at one. I have one right now. I have just a standard Minn Kota 35 foot-pound thrust, 12 volt, like cheap trolling motor. So I'm going to put that on. I do have a lithium battery that I'm going to try with it, and I'm going to try putting the battery in the front, put the motor in the back, and then the eventual goal, I think, is to put me somewhere kind of in the middle of the boat to kind of balance it all out. But we'll find out. So that's another thing we're going to try. That motor may not have enough thrust. I may need to go from a 35 to a 55. I don't know. It might be better to actually get like a bass boat style kick down bow mounted trolling motor and make a platform that it clips on, and I can just deploy the motor from the front of the boat and then have the remote, the foot pedal or whatever, and I can sit in the middle or sit in the back of the boat and have it, pull me around wherever. So anyway, it's going to be powered. So, but along with being powered is that I don't believe in any one source of propulsion. So especially getting out in bays that have tides and currents and all that kind of stuff, it will also have, and I've already put it on it, but I need to modify it a little bit more, oar locks. It is a canoe, but it's 44. I just went and measured it. It's 44 inches wide. And the problem is sitting in the middle of the canoe and trying to move over and paddle off one side and then paddle way off the other side. It's kind of a pain in the rear. I do also have a kayak style paddle, which would work also. But I grew up around the water. I grew up rowing a boat, and so having oar locks where you can really like a rowing machine, right? When people work out, they do this number. They don't do this number with a sea kayak paddle, right? So I already have the system in the boat. I put that in this last year. We'll go over that a little bit more, but I do need to modify my oars. they're too long because the boat's so narrow between the handle and the pivot point. I don't have enough leverage, so I do need to either space those out somehow, so I have more leverage to be able to pull them, or I just need to shorten my oars up. So yeah, that's one of the things. That's another bridge we have to cross. Okay, so then lastly, the whole thing for this is just usefulness, right? So we want to modify this boat in the way that it's going to sit upside down on my roof rack, that like everything can come out of it quickly, everything can go into it quickly. We can have different systems set up for, hey, we're going to the bay and going crabbing. Okay, so we have the crab pulley, we have the anchor, we have these things that are all set up in this one fashion. Goes in a box, gets put in the roof rack, canoe goes on, we go to the beach, we crab, we come back, and then the next day it's like, hey, I want to go to, they just stocked one of the local little ponds with trout, I want to go do that. It's non-motorized, like, okay, all we need is a couple rod holders and the oars, and because it's unmotorized, and we're good, and we just go. But not that it takes hours and hours to transition from one thing to the other. So the usefulness is a big one. So it's crabbing in the bays, pond fishing, going up to a local lake that we have here, reservoir just up the road, and trolling for trout. So being able to put down all the flashers and everything and use my either gas powered motor or my electric motor, to go around the outside to troll for trout. Using it on slow rivers. Here we have both the Yamhill River and the Willamette River. So being able to explore those rivers, and even some like really skinny stuff. So like Nestucca River closer to the coast, or most of those kind of boats where guys use more drift boat than canoe. But I think I can get away with using the canoe on a lot of it, right? So once again, it will be like if the river's blowing out from rain and everything else, it's not going to be safe. But in the springtime, when the water level's up, but there's not a whole lot of white water, I think this would be a great boat for that, right? So it's once again like being able to change over all of our systems and being able to say, hey, I want to go steelhead fishing today. So, I need to make sure that I have a drop anchor and that stuff, and which tackle boxes I put in the boat. I mean, let's talk about it. Tackle box storage, right? Like I need to figure out something that it's like, and I'm just coming off this just off the cuff right now, but I've really, really, really been looking at all of the Milwaukee pack out stuff and seeing what people are doing with all of those and their quick lock system in and out. Like maybe I need to come up with a section of the boat where I have some of the pack out bases mounted, and so when it's time to use the boat, like I just grab my fishing tackle for whatever it is, it's already in a pack out, and I just lock it in place. And then if I ever had an incident where I swamped the canoe or I rolled the canoe over or whatever, then guess what? That stuff would still be attached inside the canoe as a safety. So, but I wanted to play with some of the pack out stuff. So, in fact, I've been thinking about the battery for this thing, like building it in a pack out box with plugs. So I'll have to think more about that, but thank you for coming up with that idea. Oh, my nose itches. I should probably cut all this out, but man, I trimmed my mustache recently, right? So now all this fur itches my nose. Anyway, so that's the gist of this canoe. I want it fast. I want it enjoyable. I want it fun. I don't want too much heavy lifting. I want to be able to use it in a hurry. I don't want to trailer it. I did go down the road of thinking about, well, maybe I should get a little utility trailer and just have everything on the trailer and I hook it to the back of the truck and I can just take off. That still kind of sounds like a good idea, but I'd like to try to do it without it. I'll cut in some pictures of like it on the Lexus and everything else because I did use it a couple times this year. Anyway, I think it will be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to take you guys along for the journey and show you the different stuff that I'm messing with on the boat, and some of the stuff that I'm trying to do. And we'll see where it goes. if you've got comments, questions, like, please follow along the process. If you've got better ways to do stuff, or can think of something like the pack out thing or something better than that, by all means, if you know me, call me, text me, let me know that you got something else. If not, throw a comment down in the video, and let's build something cool together that is awesome to use. And as I get older, like I said, by using the winch and stuff on the truck, like, is not going to kill me to be able to go use it. I like to be able to use it, in full on old man status. So, and realistically, all over the country, I'd like to be able to, tow my Lexus behind my RV all over the place. And whenever I want to go fishing or whatever, need a boat, like, it takes literally 15 minutes and the boat's in the water and you're off using it. So